Now on SportsCenter All Night. Novak Djokovic becomes the greatest men's tennis player ever.
I knew that going into the tournament and going into the match, especially today, that there's history on the line, but I try to, focus my attention and my thoughts into preparing for this match.
The A's and Marlins remain red hot.
Going back is Anderson, turning around, it is gone! A home run for Seth Brown.
While the Mets continue to flounder.
You want to be operating on all cylinders. We know that's a real challenge, but you still strive to get there.
Who takes the first series of the year between the Red Sox and the Yankees?
There's a drive out to left field deep. McKinney back to the wall, back to the fence. He leaps up, and he makes a spectacular catch. Up against the fence.
And is it coronation time for the Nuggets? This is SportsCenter All Night. Here's Jay Reynolds.
SportsCenter All Night, ESPN Radio. The ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. By the end of the night on Tuesday, we could have a Stanley Cup champion. By the end of the night, Monday, the Larry O'Brien Trophy could be in the hands of the Nuggets. Sunday, baseball closing out the weekend with one of its marquee rivalries, Red Sox, Yankees in the Bronx. Sunday Night Baseball, Boston ties the game at 2 with a ground out in the 8th, so we would see extra innings in this one. And in the 10th,
the pitch swing and a base hit. Shot to left field. Duvall is in to score, and Boston's on top 3-2. Kike Hernandez has his fingerprints all over this one tonight.
Fast forward to the bottom of the 10th inning. Yankees trying to extend it.
Martin delivers. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and the Red Sox win the game. 3-2. Another tight one here in the Bronx. Boston pulls it out by a final of 3-2 in 10.
Chris Martin would work a hitless inning for his 10th career save, first for the Red Sox. Boston, the 3-2 win. Dave O'Brien, Doug Glanville had the call for us here on ESPN Radio. Dave?
Well, thank you, Jay. In 10 innings, a tight one again. The Red Sox pull it out 3-2 over the New York Yankees. Down the stretch, the Red Sox played better fundamental baseball than the New York Yankees. Kike Hernandez wound up having a big night for the Red Sox.
Well, they really put it together on the pitching side, and we talked earlier about how their offense has kind of vacated the ballpark on their offensive side, but the challenge has been how do they catch the ball to make sure they don't give up the extra runs and can win close games? Well, the answer is the pitching staff, and Bayo pitched an excellent job. He did well going deep enough into the 7th inning, and then the bullpen did the rest by being stingy and not giving anything up. That's typically what the Yankees do to you. So the Red Sox found a way to win close games, and if they can kind of find ways to win that, if they get any offense, then they'll figure out that they can win the bigger games as well, 6-4s as opposed to these close ones.
And Kike Hernandez, as mentioned, scored the tying run in the 8th inning and had an RBI single in the 10th inning for that go-ahead run, eventually the winning run for the Boston Red Sox.
Well, Kike Hernandez did a great job. In part, base running was key. There was a mistake made by the Yankees on a throw. He got a base hit. He paid attention. He kept his head up. And then when the throw got away, he got it to second. That put him in the scoring position, which ultimately led to the tying run. And then he got the game-winning hit in the extra innings and the extra frames. So Hernandez is that super utility guy. Shortstop, he struggled a little bit, but he shows his value. As long as you get him in the lineup, he can find ways to contribute through the little things.
So the Red Sox wind up winning this game in 10 innings by a final score of 3-2 for Doug Glanville. This is Dave O'Brien right here in your home for the Saturday game of the week. Sunday night baseball in every game of the postseason. Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Now we send it to Jay Reynolds in the studio.
All right, Dave. Yankees with their second straight home series loss. They are 9.5 games behind the Rays in the AL East. Red Sox are 14 games back. Rays on Sunday, a 7-3 win over the Rangers. Shane McClanahan, 7 innings, a 4-hit ball, striking out 5. 10 wins on the season in 14 games. Rays, most wins in baseball. Red Sox getting back to 500 with the Sunday night win over the Yankees. So everybody in the division is 500 or better. ESPN analyst Eduardo Perez.
Well, it's the grind. And all these guys, all these players, coaches, managers, Alex Cora, they understand that this is a long season. The one thing that people don't know, none of us do, is because of the balanced schedule. You don't play these teams back to back. This was the first series here that the Red Sox were playing the Yankees. Next week will be Sunday night in Boston. And, it's late. It's already late in the season for them to start playing against each other, but it won't be 18 times this year. And this is happening all around baseball. And when you're in a division that has the Tampa Bay Rays, they just don't lose at home. They keep winning series at home. It's tough to make it up, but the wild card helps. And I think that's what you have to do. Go keep winning series as you go along. And it's not catching the team in front of you in your division, but possibly just going after that wild card spot.
Speaking of the division, Blue Jays a 7-6 win over the Twins Sunday. Orioles rout the Royals 11-3. Baltimore with 4 straight wins as they complete the series sweep. They're 5-1 against Kansas City this season. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. In Denver, Rockies, Padres. Time to go home.
Bottom of the ninth after a long rain delay that's going to end right here. Oh, my! Nolan Jones crushes it. A walk-off winner. Touch him all time. God, you got to love this kid. Nolan Jones gives the Rockies their biggest emotional win of the year.
850 KOA, and no doubter, 472-foot home run. Longest walk-off home run by any player in the last 15 seasons. Nolan Jones does it on Sunday. You heard the mention of the rain delay. Ryan McMahon for Colorado had tied the game with a home run in the bottom of the ninth, and then immediately the game was delayed an hour and a half by rain. But the Rockies get the win, 5-4 over the Padres. Milestone in Pittsburgh on Sunday.
The pitch. Line drive left field. There it is. 2,000 for Andrew McCutchen and a standing ovation. Cutch 2K at PNC Park. And everybody up, including Mets fans. And a tap of the back from Mark Vientos, and now McCutchen doffs his helmet, raises it to the crowd here.
Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan. Pirates a 2-1 win over the Mets. Andrew McCutchen, though, 1 for 3 with, yes, his 2,000th career hit. 5th active player to reach 2,000. For the Mets, their 8th loss in 9 games. They're hitting just over 215 during that span. But team owner Steve Cohen says he's not ready to blow things up. He says neither manager Buck Showalter nor general manager Billy Epler are in danger of being fired. That said, Cohen telling the New York Post he is frustrated over the recent struggles. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
Here's Murray. Sends it on top to Jokic. A wide open 3. He's going to make another. Here's Bruce Brown for 3. It's good. What a night for Bruce Brown in Game 4. The Denver Nuggets have won 5 straight on the road, and they're headed home for a chance at their first NBA title.
We know we're going to have to go home and turn off the TV, the radio. Don't read the papers. Don't listen to everybody telling you how great you are, because we haven't done a damn thing yet. We have to win another game to be world champions.
Nuggets have won 3 of the first 4 games of the NBA Finals. A win Monday night at home, and the series is over. And Denver will celebrate its first NBA title. It's on ABC and, of course, here on ESPN Radio. Denver coach Michael Malone noting that while his Nuggets do have 3 wins at this point, you do need 4 to celebrate.
Are really trying to fight. Like, coaching is not just X's and O's. It's motivation, it's psychology, and getting our guys to understand that we have to fight human nature. You're up 3-1, you come up for air, you relax a little bit, and you have to understand that we're playing against a team with great desperation that's going to come out and try to punch us in the face for 48 minutes. So I don't want to match that. We have to exceed that. And we've done a really good job in these playoffs. Game 5 against Minnesota, Game 6 on the road in Phoenix, and Game 4 on the road in LA. And I don't want our guys thinking in our hip pocket, well, we have 3 games to win 1. That's a losing mindset. Tomorrow night is our game. We have to approach it as if we're down 3-1, and we have to play with this tremendous desperation and discipline.
You talked about Nikola, who had turned his ankle in the first quarter. It looked like in the second half he was pretty good. How's he been in the off days getting ready for Game 5?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, it's a little bit stiff, but I think once again, tomorrow night when that jump ball goes up, all the adrenaline that'll be flowing, understand the moment and what we have in front of us. I think once he gets to, I'm playing 48 minutes tomorrow night. We can't allow that ankle to get stiff.
As someone who appreciates defense like you do folks appreciate enough how he defends with his hands, and even when he's compromised at the ankle, how he can still make a difference on the defensive end without having to move too much?
No, I don't think people fully understand how effective he is as a defender, because you're never going to see him on the ESPN top 10 plays of blocking a shot or doing anything athletic, quote unquote. But if you really know the game and you study and you see his ability to read situations, anticipate, his hand-eye coordination for deflections, his ability to use his feet to break up plays and save easy baskets, his ability to get out and contest shots. Like this guy, what he's doing defensively is never talked about and really should be.
Denver coach Michael Malone with Mark Kestisher and our ESPN radio crew. As for the Heat, Jimmy Butler recognizes the situation, but says they still believe.
It is at an all-time high just because it always has been all year. It always will be. The belief that we have in one another, it stems from the amount of time that we spend with one another and how we actually enjoy being around one another. And we know what each other is capable of. So we didn't come this far to stop playing now, no matter what the odds are, the analytics. When we get out there, we just got to compete. We got to win one, and then we got to win another one, and then we got to win another one.
Belief is a big factor, but how do you bounce back from that 3-1 deficit? Heat forward Kevin Love.
I think it just is within your belief system, and we certainly have that here, as everybody talks about, but we talked about before we got on. It's just part of who we are. We've been such a team that's overcome so much. We've done it the hard way, and our preparation is unlike any other. So our belief system is very high. I think that all starts with Coach Spo, with Jimmy, with Bam, and throughout our entire lineup. We've been down in a number of situations, but never out. We know that people look at us like an 8 seed, but we don't look at it like that. We look at it like we can beat anybody, even with our backs up against the wall. We understand that we know we just have to win one, and then if we take it home, not only do we not want to, but we don't feel like we're going to lose on our home floor in Game 7. Anything can happen.
Kevin Love with our NBA on ESPN radio crew. You'll hear more of their conversation tonight. Coverage of Game 5 begins at 7:30 Eastern. Here on ESPN Radio. You'll also see the game on ABC. Right now, Sports Center all night. Nuggets could have a championship tonight. Novak Djokovic does have a championship again, 23 times over. In fact, he captures the French Open with a straight set win, breaking the tie with Rafa Nadal for the most major singles trophies in the history of men's tennis.
I don't want to say that I am the greatest, because I feel I've said it before, it's disrespectful towards all the great champions in different eras of our sport that was played in a completely different way than it is played today. So I feel like each great champion of his own generation has left a huge mark, a legacy, and paved the way for us to be able to play this sport in such a great stage worldwide. So I leave those kind of discussions of who is the greatest to someone else.
Nadal is a 14-time champion at Roland Garros. He missed this tournament because he's injured. As for Djokovic, he adds this French Open title to the ones he earned in 2016 and 2021.
I knew that going into the tournament, and going into the match, especially today, that there's history on the line, but I try to, focus my attention and my thoughts into preparing for this match in the best way possible to win like any other match. Of course, I would lie if I say that I didn't think about, the finish line that is right there, and then one more match is needed to win a trophy, a historic one, of course. But my team has created a good bubble around me. So we did, I think, a great job into just staying in the present moment and performing as good as we wanted to. And of course, when I saw his forehand going wide, I felt a huge relief, and I was overwhelmed with wonderful emotions. And I'm very, very happy and very proud of it.
Djokovic, the only man with at least 3 titles from each major. He just won his 3rd at the French. He also has 10 at the Australian Open, 7 at Wimbledon, and 3 at the U.S. Open. They may change the name of the school by changing 1 letter. That's next. SportsCenter all night at ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, a lot of NFL players got paid big bucks this offseason. I'll tell you which ones are poised for a disappointing season. Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio.
MLB fans, when you need tickets to catch your favorite team live all season long, Ticketmaster's got them. As the world's largest ticket marketplace, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of seats available and at competitive prices, so you never have to worry about missing a game. Take yourself out to the ballpark this season and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/MLB. That's Ticketmaster.com/MLB.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
With summer in full swing, now's the perfect time to head to the ballpark. Score great deals on great seats from our friends at Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Every crack of the bat, every diving catch, every heart-pounding play. Experience it live, in person, from the first pitch to the final inning. Vivid Seats has a huge selection of MLB tickets, and they're the only ticket company that rewards your purchases. For the best selection of 2023, shop now. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO, Showtime. Do you feel like your streaming subscriptions are out of control? Why not start the new year off right and cancel the ones you're not using? Enter the Rocket Money app. Rocket Money organizes your subscriptions by due date and notifies you when something is coming up. From there, decide whether to keep it or cancel it with just a tap. To find out more about Rocket Money, go to rocketmoney.com/gameday or download the Rocket Money app from the Apple app or Google Play stores. Rocket Money, the finance app that works for you.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
The classic Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich. Crispy chicken, 100% white meat with crunchy pickles and mayo. It might just be the best KFC chicken sandwich.
Oh, don't forget KFC Spicy Chicken Sandwich. It brings the heat.
Also very good.
Topped with a kick of spicy mayo. It might just be the best.
One of the best.
Okay, one of the best KFC chicken sandwiches out there.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Choose your flavor with KFC's Chicken Sandwich in classic
or spicy.
That's finger licking good. Price of participation may vary.
Did you know YouTube TV is more than cable for less than cable? That's right. YouTube TV has no long-term contracts or hidden fees, and it even lets you catch up to the live game with key plays. With the lineup of over 100 channels, you can watch live TV like cable. Signing up is simple. Get started in minutes, and you can watch all the action of the NBA Finals live on ABC. So what are you waiting for? Try it free today at youtube.com/NBA23. New users only. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
The NBA Finals continue on ESPN Radio.
Bruce Brown for 3. It's good. What a night for Bruce Brown in Game 4.
The Nuggets return to Denver. One win from their first NBA championship. Can the Heat survive a must-win Game 5? The Finals. Game 5 of the Nuggets and Heat. Presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Coming up Monday on Canty and Carlin, the Nuggets take a commanding 3-1 lead in the finals. As the series shifts back to Denver, can Jimmy Buckets save the Heat season? That's Monday, Canty and Carlin, 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance.
Wilkin has been a consistent source of power in the middle of this Wake Forest lineup for 3 years. And he unloads to left, and he is the ACC all-time home run record holder.
ESPN with the call. Wake Forest, the 1 seed in the men's college baseball tournament, going yard and then some. Wake Forest, a record-tying 9 home runs Sunday as they crush Alabama 22-5 to win the Winston-Salem Super Regional. Brock Wilkin, 3 of the 9 homers, and as you heard, he's the ACC's all-time leading home run hitter.
One of the heroes for Wake Forest all season long and today in the Super Regional clincher was Brock Wilkin, the ACC's all-time home run leader. Hey, let's start with the personal. What does that mean to you to accomplish that feat with so many great baseball players that have been through this conference?
Yeah, I mean, you can say that again. You know, that feels pretty nice.
Okay, I will. The ACC's all-time home run leader.
Man, I mean, I can't even describe the amount of emotions that are going through me right now. You know, that is just such an accomplishment. I'd be lying to you if I said that I could do this. You know, it's an unbelievable accomplishment with such great company. You know, I couldn't even imagine being here. My teammates alongside me, man, I couldn't even imagine doing anything without those guys. I mean, all credit to those guys. Kurt's in front of me, Pierce and JJ hit behind me. I mean, they set the way for me to be able to do what I do.
Brock Wilkin, 30 homers this season, second ACC player with 30 in a season. J.D. Drew had 31 in 1997. Demon Deacons blowing out Alabama 22-5 to advance to the Men's College World Series for the 3rd time and the first since winning the championship in 1955. ACC and ESPN analysts Devin Travis and Denny Graves.
This ball club has really just been incredible all year long. You think about number 1 in the country. You got a target on your back. Every single day, it's the World Series for whatever team's playing against you. They give you your best shot every single day. And they've showed up every single day.
It's been pretty remarkable watching them do it in so many different ways, too. We talk about their starting rotation, how great they are. We talk about their bullpen. But what we see today, yes, the starting pitching was there, but it didn't matter because they just raked everything that they saw up there. And it was almost like storybook ending for Brock Wilkin's career at the couch. Like, come up to the final inning and his final at-bat to break the record. Oh.
We were begging for them to pitch to him.
Yeah, yes,
right?
Yes.
No doubt.
Oh, because if they wouldn't have pitched to him, I would have been very irate, and I would have let the world know how irate I would be at those other teams and those other conferences for being scared of Brock Wilkin. People don't realize what kind of a person he is, man. Off the field, if he wants to, after his 15-year career, he could be sitting here talking about baseball and talking just like we are, his personality. But what stands out the most, I learned from him, the pink sleeve that he wears on his arm. He wears that every game, and that's in honor of his best friend from home. His mother has breast cancer, and he wants to wear that to honor her. And when he told me the story, like, I'm getting kind of chills right now. It was just amazing the way that he cares about other people more than he cares about himself. He's not just this big, strong dude that hit bombzillas. He's actually has a very nice heart. And I mean, it sounds like a man crush. I know. Maybe it is. Dude, he's a ACC home run leader now.
And as for his team, Wake Forest, second team in NCAA tournament history to win 4 games by double digits in a single tournament. LSU in 97 did it. LSU this year, 8-3 winner over Kentucky to make its 19th appearance in the Men's College World Series. Its first since 2017, 9th time winning a Super Regional, 7th time entering the Men's College World Series without a loss since the tournament expanded in 1999. 7, Virginia, 12-2 win over Duke, advancing to their 6th Men's College World Series, all since 2009. Oral Roberts gets past Oregon.
And Drew Smith to third, scooped up Holden Breeze to first, and for the first time since 1978, Oral Roberts is headed to the Men's College World Series.
45-year gap between the two. Oral Roberts an 11-6 win over Oregon. Stanford an 8-3 win over Texas. They force a winner-take-all Game 3. Tennessee and Southern Miss will play a winner-take-all Game 3 as well. Golf, Nick Taylor wins the Canadian Open. And he's Canadian. That just doesn't happen.
I heard someone shout out there everything, and I don't know any other word to use other than that. I think it's a tournament that we've circled on our calendar since probably junior golf, but ever since been on PGA Tour, this is one that we want to do as well as we can in, and the crowd support was the most unbelievable thing I've probably ever experienced in my life. To kind of break that curse, if you want to call it, is I'm pretty speechless. I don't think it's going to sink in for quite some time what happened today.
Last player from Canada to win the Canadian Open was Pat Fletcher in 1954. Who will win the NBA title and when? That's next. It's ESPN Radio.
Greeny. The fact that one of the central pieces feels so much bitterness toward it, it is tragic to me. Makes me feel terribly sad for him.
Weekday mornings at 10 East.
Shopify presents cool sheets from aha to lying awake while you bake isn't cool. I suffered from the wrong kind of hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible, signing up on Shopify. With the help of Shopify's intuitive online store creator, I started selling sustainable bamboo sheets that keep cool year-round. And my cool idea became a reality. Hot sleepers around the world rejoice. Shopify makes it simple to keep your cool while starting and growing your business. Start selling with Shopify today and join the commerce platform powering millions of businesses worldwide. From aha to anything is possible.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. Shopify.com/play.
They liked Bill as a basketball player. They just didn't agree with his views off the court.
They would blame it on the length of my hair. They would blame it on who I voted for. I vote in every election. I express my feelings. I'm an engaged citizen. I'm part of a team. What is more mainstream than that?
30 for 30 presents The Luckiest Guy in the World. Episodes 3 and 4. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Streaming same night on ESPN+.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
It's pretty easy to look at the AFC and say if you are a young-ish quarterback that has some level of hype and there are expectations for your team, you stand a really good chance of being the MVP. If you're Lamar, all it takes is one big 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns against the Bengals late in the season, and everybody's going to turn around and say, oh my God, there's your MVP.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
Has Denver had an easy road to the finals? I don't want to hear any of this. Vegas picked the Suns to beat the Nuggets in the second round. I picked the Suns to beat the Nuggets in the second round. We're just like a month removed from 9 million TV segments about, are the Lakers a sleeping giant? There is no such thing as an easy road to the finals, as evidenced by the number 8 seed Miami Heat.
Check out the Low Post Podcast on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Jimmy Joe Pesci.
Blessings on blessings to everybody on this show, the realest show on ESPN. Why I think Mike is better than LeBron. I'm going to tell you, numbers don't lie. We're going to do numbers. If you put $100 on LeBron losing all his championships, you will be up $600. If you put $10,000 on Mike winning or his championship, you will be up $60,000. 60 versus 600.
You only put 100 on one, you put 10,000 on the other.
But yeah, numbers don't lie, Max. Numbers don't lie. That's it. I understand that, but ain't nobody on the show a mathematician, so numbers don't lie.
Key, Jay, and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
He went to Boston and it ended in disaster. He went to Brooklyn and it ended in disaster. He went to Dallas, and I guess it's not over, but it was an unadulterated disaster what happened there. There's a buyer beware element with Kyrie that I totally get. But would I be surprised if the Lakers make a real push? Certainly if LeBron pushes hard for Kyrie, I would not be surprised at all.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center All Night.
Nick Taylor captures the Canadian Open. First Canadian to do that since 1954. Andrew McCutchen picks up career hit number 2,000. NBA championship could be decided tonight.
Here's Murray. Sends it on top to Jokic. A wide open three. He's going to make another. Here's Bruce Brown. 4-3. It's good. What a night for Bruce Brown in Game 4. The Denver Nuggets have won 5 straight on the road, and they're headed home for a chance at their first NBA title.
We know we're going to have to go home and turn off the TV, the radio. Don't read the papers. Don't listen to everybody telling you how great you are, because we haven't done a damn thing yet. We have to win another game to be world champions.
Denver taking Game 4. Nuggets up 3-1 in the series. Yes, they can close it out tonight. ABC and here on ESPN Radio. Heat trying to stave off elimination. Their coach, Eric Spoelstra.
Our team our locker room is full of great competitors, and nothing has changed from our standpoint, that we're trying to accomplish something that's audacious, that's big, that a lot of people don't understand. The path to get there, it doesn't matter how you get there. It is challenging. It is difficult. We're coming off of, 2 disappointing losses at home. But our guys love to compete and love these kind of environments, and having things decided between those 4 lines. There's no narrative that can decide it. The crowd can't decide it. The analytics about 3-1 can't decide it. You have to have a certain level of defiance, as competitors, and our guys have that times 10.
The cliche, or the coach's cliche, or ours in the league, is veteran players, how they're so savvy and they learn, and it comes to the top even more in the playoffs. Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love, are they able to deliver more to the table because of that experience?
I feel so. A little bit what I talked about before, their competitive spirit, their nature of really enjoying everything about the playoffs. If you're a real competitor, you usually rise to the level of the competition, or rise to the level of the moment. And that's what those guys do. They have, so much experience at the highest level. They love competing in these kind of environments and situations. Even after disappointing losses, they love the challenge, and that they're both stubborn and defiant as competitors. And you need that. When you get to these kind of moments, you need guys that aren't going to crack. You need guys that really are looking forward to an unbelievable opportunity still ahead of us. It's the first team to 4. And all we're really focused on, we know, especially with that experience, you just get this thing back to Miami, and that the whole thing can change very quickly. And, just stay in the moment and embrace this game tomorrow night.
Denver defense, they don't get a lot of fanfare on that end. So from your trained eye, from what you see, where are they sneaky better than most give them credit for?
They're very well coached. They have a system that makes sense for their personnel. So if you're trying to take advantage of certain things, it's not as easy as you might say on paper. And they have a lot of experience in their system. That's what really matters. They have that institutional knowledge. It's not like they're just put in a system this year. It's been several years in the making. And Jokic is extremely unique in that system. I'm sure you guys have talked about it, but he had the 5 kickballs. He had 3 strip downs that led to steals and turnovers, and he's fully capable of doing that. He's like Kyle Lowry at 7 feet with his hands and his anticipation and things where you can beat him maybe vertically or with your speed. You have to be very alert. the battles that he can win. And so we just have to be really intentional with our spacing, our attacks, and making sure that we're doing things collectively on the same page.
Miami Heat coach Eric Spoelstra with our ESPN radio crew. You'll hear more of their discussion tonight. Our coverage here, NBA on ESPN radio, starts at 7:30 Eastern Time. SportsCenter all night. It is Game 5. It is a best of 7. No guarantee that the series ends tonight with Game 5. ESPN's Tim Bontemps.
It's got to be the same thing it was going into Game 4, which is for them to have a chance to win, they have to limit Jamal Murray and they have to hit threes. And yes, Jamal did a great job distributing the ball in Game 4, but he went 5 for 17 from the field, right? And that's good enough for them to win. The problem was they shot 25% from three. So if they can hold Jamal down to a reasonable number and they can hit threes, Miami has a chance to get this thing back home for a Game 6 on Thursday. If they can't do both those things, I think Denver's going to be celebrating its first NBA championship. That's really what I thought most of the series comes down to, and I think that'll be the case in Game 5. If Miami can win these games, but they have a very, very thin margin for error, and if they don't hit it exactly, then they're not going to be able to win. And that's why Denver's controlled the vast majority of the series, and it's why I expect them to win Game 5 and close this thing out tomorrow night. But I think if Miami does win, in order for Miami to win, those are the two keys: limiting Jamal Murray and hitting threes. They do that, I think the Heat have a shot.
What has the team said about how they can get better at shooting threes, even though they've struggled at the last couple games?
Look, I mean, this is just the Miami Heat are a confident bunch, and they're not going to go quietly into the night. I mean, they're going to play their game and do their thing, and they very much believe they can come back and win this series. But look, I mean, these guys were an 8 seed for a reason. They shot the ball. They were 27th in threes all season. Then they became the best shooting team in the league over the past 2 months. So, we've seen some up and down streaky shooting from them. Their guys are in a bit of a lull right now, but as anybody who was in Boston the last round could tell you, their guys are very capable of getting hot in a hurry and knocking down shots left and right. And, they got a bunch of open shots earlier in the series. Denver, I think, has done a good job of locking in this defense the past couple games. And, Miami's got to, not only generate good looks, but make them. And you're sort of past the time of saying, well, our process is good, we'll live with the results. Well, now you need the process and the results, because if you don't get the results now, there's no tomorrow for Miami. And so, Max Strus and Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin and Duncan Robinson, those guys are going to be firing up shots still. They're not going to stop shooting, but they've just got to be better and they've got to play better. And if they do, Miami, I think, has a chance to make this thing competitive, because as much as I think this thing's going to end tomorrow, I do think people have been a little quick to just say, well, this thing is 1,000% over. Because, the Heat are not going to roll over in Game 5. And I think they're going to come out playing hard and playing well. And I think Denver's going to have to earn it. And I do think Denver's going to earn it. But there are some things that if Miami does them, I think you can make an argument they could get this thing back to South Florida for Game 6 on Thursday night.
But it will start with Game 5 tonight, and the Miami Heat obviously facing a must-win. As for the Nuggets, they are a win away from hoisting the Larry O'Brien. What's the mindset for someone like Nikola Jokic?
It's not if we're gonna approach it as a must-win game. For I know it's a big opportunity, and I think everybody knows. And by the reflection of the practice today, how everybody will locked in, I think we're gonna be ready for tomorrow. And that's our day to do their job and to keep us not relaxed, keep us tight, and they're doing a really good job. And I think the vets are in this league are really important for the Argentine, for the whatever team. You need to have a good vets.
Game 5 coming up Monday night. Our coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio. You'll also see the game on ABC. SportsCenter all night. Back to baseball. The milestone in Pittsburgh Sunday. Andrew McCutchen, career hit number 2,000 for his career. 291st player to reach 2,000. 5th active player to do so. Miguel Cabrera, Joey Votto, Nelson Cruz, Elvis Andrus, the other 4. Meanwhile, speaking of milestones, at the other end of the age spectrum, there's Elly De La Cruz, who continues to do pretty well for the Reds. 2 for 3 on Sunday, was on base again.
The 2-1. Ground ball to short. They're coming home. De La Cruz slides in safely. Contreras never got it. He couldn't scoop the low throw, and De La Cruz able to dive in safely at home plate with a go-ahead run.
Because he was on base again. 700 WLW Reds, a 4-3 win over the Cardinals. Cincinnati winning, first time winning consecutive games at Busch Stadium since 2021. As for Ellie De La Cruz, yes, 2 for 3, couple of walks. Youngest Reds player to reach base safely 4 times since Jay Bruce in 2008. Second Reds player over the last decade to record a hit in his first 6 career games. ESPN analyst Eduardo Perez.
I had a conversation with Pat Kelly, his AAA manager, and he was the one that told him in the lobby of the hotel, you're going up to the big leagues. And then he proceeded to text me, Eduardo, I've managed for many years. I've managed 4 Hall of Famers, and this is the best player I've ever managed. Ellie De La Cruz is the real deal. He plays a premier position. He's playing third right now. But we saw the speed there. We've seen the ability to hit the breaking ball also the other way. We've seen the ability to hit for power. We've seen the ability to go from home to third without any issues. He's got a strong arm, and he's got instincts. And that right there, we as fans, we are living in a great generation of ball players that have great talent. And Ellie De La Cruz wearing number 44, the number that Eric Davis wore in Cincinnati. Man, Cincinnati's got it right with this kid.
De La Cruz, 3 stolen bases in his first 6 career games, most by any Reds rookies since Greg Tubbs in 1993. Phillies and Dodgers on Sunday.
1-2 the count and the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air towards the angled wall. Hayward looking up, and that ball is gone. Nick Castellanos with a 2-run home run here in the 7th. His 8th of the year. And the Phillies extend their lead. It's now 6-2.
It would be a 7-3 win for the Phillies. Sports Radio 94 WIP. Castellanos 2 for 5, couple of RBI, 25th multi-hit game this season, 5th most games in Major League Baseball. Dodgers, meanwhile, with the loss, 2-6 over their past 8 games dating back to June 3rd. Giants a 13-3 rout of the Cubs. Giants commit 4 errors. First team to win by 10 runs or more with 4 errors since the Cubs did it in 2016. Cubs were on the short end of this one on Sunday. A's, don't look now. They're on a win streak. Oakland, an 8-6 win over Milwaukee. That's 5 straight wins for the A's, all of them on the road. They were 5-26 on the road entering this 5-game road win streak. Milwaukee, meanwhile, swept by Oakland for the first time since 2002. Guardians and Astros.
Belank's ready. Here it comes.
A swing and a drive to deep right center. Away back. Gone.
Andres Jimenez with home run number 4. A laser that cleared the 9-foot wall in right center.
Tom Harrelson, WTAM. Guardians a 5-0 win over the Astros for Cleveland, their 6th shutout win this season. Shane Bieber, 7 innings of 3-hit ball, 9 strikeouts, matching his season high with those 9 Ks. Angels a 9-4 win over the Mariners. Shohei Ohtani 3 for 5, season-long 8-game hit streak at this point. Marlins a 6-5 win over the White Sox. Marlins trailed 5-1 in the 7th, but they rally for the win. Nationals and Braves.
The set and the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball right field. Acuna back to the warning track near the wall. He looks up, and it is off the top of the wall and gone. It hits atop the fence down the right field line in the corner. The 16-foot wall, it just had enough to get over. A rain-making 2-run homer for Candelario gives the Nationals a 4-2 lead here in the 6th.
Nationals Radio Network, it's a 6-2 win for Washington as they snap a 6-game losing streak, their longest of the season. Atlanta, meanwhile, with a 7-game win streak, which comes to an end. Had been the longest in Major League Baseball, was one shy of their longest win streak of the season, but with a 6-2 loss to Washington on Sunday, that comes to an end. Are we looking at the end of an era in the backfield in New York? That's next. SportsCenter All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Monday, I'm going to tell you why it's time for the Lakers to stop playing around and make sure they end up with one of these point guards. Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern. ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
ESPN Radio SportsCenter All Night. More next.
ESPN Daily is presented by YouTube TV.
Steve Brill, I think it's fair to say for a generation of sports fans, and even people who aren't sports fans, the name Gordon Bombay and the Flying V, the Knuckle Puck, these are phrases, these are names that immediately bring to mind great memories from childhood. And a classic film that you wrote, that you created, The Mighty Ducks. Where did the idea come from?
Well, it's funny when you say Gordon Bombay, it's like that you say that's iconic, which is funny because I was very young. I was 26 years old and I was drinking gin that summer. And the two gins, if you know, are the most popular back then were Bombay gin and Gordon's gin. And I looked over at the bar and I saw Gordon Bombay and I wrote that as the main character's name.
In the hallowed canon of sports underdog movies, heroes like Rocky and the Bad News Bears often get top billing. But in 1992, a new team came quacking, triple deking, and flying together to join their ranks, the Mighty Ducks. So ahead of the premiere of the new E60 documentary, Once Upon a Time in Anaheim, we're bringing you a sneak peek. Today, screenwriter Stephen Brill shares what it was like to turn waterfowl into film and how it felt when his creation came to life in the form of an actual NHL team owned by Disney, which ruffled a lot of feathers by naming the team the Mighty Ducks. I'm Jeremy Schaap. It's Friday, June 9th. This is ESPN Daily.
MLB fans, when you need tickets to catch your favorite team live all season long, Ticketmaster's got them. As the world's largest ticket marketplace, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of seats available and at competitive prices, so you never have to worry about missing a game. Take yourself out to the ballpark this season and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/MLB. That's Ticketmaster.com/MLB.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO, Showtime. Do you feel like your streaming subscriptions are out of control? Why not start the new year off right and cancel the ones you're not using? Enter the Rocket Money app. Rocket Money organizes your subscriptions by due date and notifies you when something is coming up. From there, decide whether to keep it or cancel it with just a tap. To find out more about Rocket Money, go to rocketmoney.com/gameday or download the Rocket Money app from the Apple app or Google Play stores. Rocket Money, the finance app that works for you.
SportsCenter All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
We're taking you to Key, Jay, and Max, 6 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN Radio. The New York Giants used the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley earlier this year. Hasn't signed it, so he's away from the team facility all spring. New York does have mandatory minicamp coming up this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, but Saquon Barkley can't attend because he's not under contract. What needs to happen?
What I think needs to happen to get the deal done. At the end of the day, I would like to address that. I feel like there's been some things out there that's been misleading. Obviously the sources or the stories that have been out there. But I've been public. I came out public. I've been open about it. I said I want to be a Giant for life. This is where I want to be. And at the end of the day, it's all about, something that respectable. It's all about respect. And that's really what it is.
Stories that Barkley's referring to where the Giants had that offer out to Barkley earlier in the year could have been worth up to $14 million per season. Barkley and his camp turning it down. The perception has left a negative taste in the mouth of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, it's misleading for sure. I think I've came out and said that I want to be a Giant for life. I came out and said that I'm not trying to reset the running back market. So, for those reports to come out and try to make me look like greedy or whatever, that's not even close to being the truth. But it is what it is.
The two sides have until July 17th to work out a new deal. Does provide Saquon Barkley some hope that there is time. If they're unable to find middle ground, the running back said he would at least contemplate sitting out the season. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. As for the top sounds from Sunday, let's bring in Jim Basketball.
Number 5.
Jay, the Arizona Diamondbacks now have a 3.5-game lead over the Dodgers in the NL West after scoring 4 times in the ninth Sunday, highlighted by this. Arizona Sports 98.7 FM.
Here's the pitch. Swing, line drive, left field, base hit. Marte will score. Carroll to third. Now he bobbles the ball. Carroll giving the wave around third. He's going to score. And the Diamondbacks take the lead. An E7 by Carpenter. And it's 6-5 Diamondbacks.
Number 4.
Two best teams in baseball matched up this weekend at the Trop, with Tampa Bay taking 2 of 3 from Texas. The rubber game backed by this big blow. 620 WDAE.
Wonder swings and hits it off the end of the bat to deep left. Over and back, Grossman to the wall. Gone! Wander's first homer in more than a month. It's a 3-run blast. And the Rays have a 4-run lead. 7-3.
Number 3.
The Padres and Rockies were tied at 4, had to wait out an 85-minute rain delay, and when they returned, Nolan Jones got into one, and 472 feet later, the game was over. 8:50 KOA.
Bottom of the ninth after a long rain delay that's going to end right here. Oh, my! Nolan Jones crushes it. A walk-off winner. Touch him all time. God, you got to love this kid. Nolan Jones gives the Rockies their biggest emotional win of the year.
Number 2.
Pirates took 2 of 3 from the Mets, with Sunday's win highlighted by a milestone hit from Andrew McCutchen in his second tour of duty in Pittsburgh. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
The pitch. Line drive left field. There it is. 2,000 for Andrew McCutchen in a standing ovation. Cutch 2K at PNC Park. And everybody up, including Mets fans. And a tap of the back from Mark Vientos, and now McCutchen doffs his helmet, raises it to the crowd here.
Number 1.
And for the first time in 69 years, a Canadian has won the Canadian Open, though it took a 72-foot eagle from Nick Taylor to get it done. Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio.
Putter comes up with some speed, now up the rise. For the eagle, for the win, to the cup, to the gun. Yes, yes, yes. The drought is over. The drought is over. Nick Taylor with the eagle, the 2023 RBC Canadian Open champion. History. 500 FedEx Cup points. 2-year exemption. He's an icon now in this country.
Last player from Canada to win the Canadian Open was Pat Fletcher in 1954 at Point Grey in Vancouver. Fletcher was actually born in England. Carl Keffer had been the only Canadian-born champion. He won it in 1909 and 1914. Mike Weir, Canadian Mike Weir, came this close, lost in a playoff to Vijay Singh in 2004. Playoffs could end tonight in the NBA. Heat need a win to keep the series going. What about the roster? Eric Spoelstra was asked about,
Coach, I drew the short straw today, so I'm going to ask any update on Tyler, his availability. Has he passed any contact tests?
I'm not that irascible, am I? And Ramona and I are in a great place. Yes. I was not talking about Ramona. I think that's where
You got one more in you,
sometimes
Coach.
people read me wrong. So we're talking about Hero, huh? No new update. He's doing another contact workout today. I probably won't have anything for you tomorrow morning. Oh.
Meanwhile, as we look at Tyler Hero, Darren McKee from 104.3 The Fan in Denver.
Tyler Hero was out practicing basically with the backups. He was practicing with the backups. I don't think he's going to go. He had a pretty strong wrap around his right hand. But I'll tell you this, he was involved in an active sort of half-court scrimmage that they were doing during practice, and he was shooting. It's an outside shot, but I don't think it's crazy to think he may play.
We'll see who's able to answer the bell when the ball goes up for the tip for Game 5 tonight. You'll see it on ABC, and it's here on ESPN Radio, our coverage at 7:30 Eastern. It's Monday, June 12th, birthday of former outfielder Hideki Matsui. What will happen with Saquon Barkley in New York over the next month or so? Our Dan Graziano was here this morning, 7:30 Eastern with Key, Jay, and Max. They're up next. I'm Jay Reynolds. Back tomorrow with Sports Center all night. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up next, Keyshawn J. Will.
With summer in full swing, now's the perfect time to head to the ballpark. Score great deals on great seats from our friends at Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Every crack of the bat, every diving catch, every heart-pounding play. Experience it live, in person, from the first pitch to the final inning. Vivid Seats has a huge selection of MLB tickets, and they're the only ticket company that rewards your purchases. For the best selection of 2023, shop now. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Shopify presents cool sheets from aha to
lying awake while you bake isn't cool. I suffered from the wrong kind of hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible, signing up on Shopify. With the help of Shopify's intuitive online store creator, I started selling sustainable bamboo sheets that keep cool year-round. And my cool idea became a reality. Hot sleepers around the world rejoice. Shopify makes it simple to keep your cool while starting and growing your business. Start selling with Shopify today and join the commerce platform powering millions of businesses worldwide. From aha to anything is possible.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. Shopify.com/play.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Did you know YouTube TV is more than cable for less than cable? That's right. YouTube TV has no long-term contracts or hidden fees, and it even lets you catch up to the live game with key plays. With the lineup of over 100 channels, you can watch live TV like cable. Signing up is simple. Get started in minutes, and you can watch all the action of the NBA Finals live on ABC. So what are you waiting for? Try it free today at youtube.com/NBA23. New users only. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
The classic Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich. Crispy chicken, 100% white meat with crunchy pickles and mayo. It might just be the best KFC chicken sandwich.
Oh, don't forget KFC Spicy Chicken Sandwich. It brings the heat.
Also very good.
Topped with a kick of spicy mayo. It might just be the best.
One of the best.
Okay, one of the best KFC chicken sandwiches out there.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Choose your flavor with KFC's Chicken Sandwich in classic
or spicy.
That's finger licking good. Price of participation may vary.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Key, can you consider the Chiefs a dynasty already?
It's close. I think you need 3. They've done a lot in a short amount of time. One more will solidify it in my book, but it's hard to argue that they've been to the Super Bowl. They won, they lost, they won. It's hard. One more, though. One more, and I think most people dive all the way in.
GJ and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
I speak receiver. No, he's not excited to be a Raider right now. They cut his guy. His guy goes to New Orleans. He gets the playbook. He's like, man, we getting ready to dink and dunk. We got Jimmy damn Garoppolo.
GJ and Max.
Rodney in Massachusetts.
Okay, I don't know what it is when you're mad. I love you, then I hate you, then I love you, then I hate you again, bro.
Spike Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Keyshawn, I love you.
Are you insane? GJ and Max. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, too icy.
It is elite passing. Putting on a clinic is the joke.
Yeah, 2-3. Yeah, got shooters.
Jamal Murray with a huge three-pointer. This dynamic duo connects again.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio. The air's been better in New York last couple days. Haven't smelled the wildfires from Canada or seen the Martian atmosphere in New York recently.
Well, Martians, I mean, there was a UFO that was
in Vegas.
That was in Vegas. It wasn't in New York, but,
Guy had time to take out his phone and call the cops, but not to just put it on to video record what was going on. Morning, Key.
Y'all really believe that, y'all? Well, okay.
Why do you not believe in this?
There's no evidence. That's why it's zero evidence.
It's just something
there's
across the sky now.
There's some evidence on radar and sonar recently from a different part of
I know. Radar. I know.
But it is interesting to me.
As far as we know, it was a large drone. We don't.
Right. Or a weather event or something. It is interesting to me that they had time to pick up the phone, call the cops, have a long conversation, but there's a camera right on your phone. You get video. You just hit boom and get the whole thing, but that didn't happen. Only the phone call.
But Jay believes in that stuff.
I'm a sci-fi guy.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's like back in the day with Back to the Future. Remember back to the Future when all of a sudden they came out with like the video screen call and everyone's like, oh, they'll never have that. Now you have it on your cell phone.
Yeah. I'm really waiting for those.
Saying.
I'll take the hoverboards though. Thank you.
The hoverboard?
Yeah, I want the hoverboard, man.
Hopefully I'm here when we start driving convertible flying saucers.
Oh, thank you. Key, I'll mortgage the house for one of those, today.
We'll right over
you're
traffic.
Not, I don't want you driving. If you can't find out where the search button is on Twitter, I don't want you driving.
No, it's going to be all automated. It's going to fly for you.
Yeah, had a great. How was our weekend, man?
They got to you, Key.
Oh, what happened?
They got to you. What happened? I thought we were having the Black Mermaids out this weekend.
Man,
what happened? When I saw the text, I was like,
when you order something and it don't come. That's all I can tell you.
Postmates, you got to go. I never got the wrong item. You got to check the thing.
Max Q sent us a picture. It was a Frozen character. I was like, what happened to the Black Mermaids?
Yeah.
Frozen
characters. Hey, man, all I can do is tell you that's what they sent. So you accept it and your daughter's happy and you.
No, you send it back.
No, you can't
send
do that.
It back. It's not what we order.
Nah. Man, they're happy. The kids are little 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds are running around. They was pretty happy. I had a long day Saturday though. Ooh, I'm still playing catch up. It was a long day, boy.
Kid's
I saw you.
Party,
thank you. No, I had a birthday party, which was cool, but when you gotta wake up, do everything, go get certain stuff, run around, help put stuff together, and then you got the birthday party, you gotta shake hands and talk and do all that. Then I had to go to the Mandy Awards, which is a award show at ESPN 710 out here in LA.
Did you like my intro?
That looked fun. I saw some of that on social media.
It was interesting. Your face was big in the screen. I didn't like that part.
Big face, big nose. Yeah. It's apparent.
But no, you did a good job. The video looked fake though. Me falling on the ground just looked fake.
They showed the video.
I was shocked.
Yeah. Key and I playing at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Yeah.
I was shocked to see. I was like, oh, look at Jay.
Did you win any of the awards?
I don't ever win.
Yeah.
Michael Thompson won funniest host, right? I saw that on social media.
Yeah.
You just get nominated for a lot.
Richly deserved.
Yeah, I got nominated for a lot.
Yeah.
But I didn't win. I'm never gonna win. It's just that's
That's what Justin told me. He's gonna get nominated for everything and not win one.
Not win every year. I'm always nominated. I'm one of the hosts. I do all of the red carpets. I smile. I do it all, but I never win.
Key, you got to tell them you're not showing up unless, you know how they do, unless, am I getting an award, yes or no?
Nothing I can do, man. It's like certain awards and award shows and stuff like that, and people win. You go, what?
What?
That's just, like, seriously, like, TV shows or Oscars or Emmys or whatever. It's like, man, I'm not listening to that dude. Why would I listen to him? But there's a lot of people that do. So there you go.
I called I was on the broadcast for the Teofimo Lopez Josh Taylor fight, which was a great upset for Teofimo Lopez. He's back. He was, champion of the world at lightweight, had a medical condition, lost his title that night. He could have died from his not getting oxygen in his lungs or something. Somehow made the distance, dropped his man, but he still lost the decision. Moved up in weight, didn't look great. Big underdog again to fight for the junior welterweight title and won. Now he's been the champ in 2 divisions. Like if he retired today, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
So then what's next?
Well, he said after the fight he wants to retire. Well, he's 25 years old. He's got 1 loss under weird conditions, 2 great upset wins, 2 division champion, and I'm going to talk to him today and see what's what. But got a lot. He could fight Devin Haney if he moves up. A lot of stuff going on. What about your weekend?
Was he politicking about the fact he only gets paid like $1 million a fight and he wants more money?
Yeah, he wants to get paid. Yeah. He's got a big personality and everything. Yeah. How'd your weekend go?
My weekend was chill. I sat up there late Friday night, had some hookah in the backyard and watched.
Why is Key laughing?
I don't know.
You thought of something?
Hookah, yeah, and then watch Denver, go ahead and put him to sleep.
Just as I predicted.
No.
Yep. I tried to tell you all year, Jay, watch out for Denver.
No.
I said by the All-Star game, I said Denver's going to win the whole thing.
You said Miami in 7.
I don't remember.
You said Miami.
Listen, no one's keeping track. As a show, we picked Denver.
What happened? Now, I'm very curious today on Monday morning. We're talking about June 12th. I've been waiting all weekend to hear this conversation between Max and Key.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the talent situation. Remember the word talent that we kept bringing up over the last week and a half? And why is everybody trying to tell me that Denver has more talent than Miami? Miami's just as talented as are they?
Jay,
are they?
Didn't I ask you that question Friday?
Key,
I asked you the
this
question
is more
on
towards
Friday.
Me.
I asked you the question on Friday about the talent in Miami versus the talent in Denver. Is this why we're seeing what we are seeing?
It wasn't to you, Q. It was more to Max.
Jay,
well, when you say you guys,
you're right. You're right.
Jay, take a look at me.
Max,
take a look at me in the
Max's name
specifically. Max.
Take a look at me on ESPN2 right there, JC. Take a look. Take a good look.
This is me. I'm looking.
Yeah,
okay,
see that?
There you are.
This is a man who needs to get a little sun. I've been working all weekend. Take it easy. I look like death warmed over. I just took a look at myself. Take it easy on me today a little bit.
Yeah,
I could use some sleep. I could use some sun. Huh?
I said you said 7. They would lose in 7.
Yeah.
They would take it to at least 7.
No, he said they were winning 7.
No, I picked Denver the whole time. What are you talking about?
He didn't say losing 7.
That's right. They would win in 7.
Who would pick Miami?
But that's what I mean. Denver would lose in 7 is what he said.
Oh, yes.
I said that Miami would at least get 4 games. At least. They only have 5.
Then Miami had no margin for error. By the way, I never said Miami was just as talented. That was not my argument.
We had callers calling into the show talking about how come Miami just can't be talented? How come you guys keep using these words undrafted? I'm like, talent gap. There you go. Do you see it now? When you see, and he's going to get his money, deserving. But when Gabe Vincent goes 2 of 14 over the last 2 games, when Max Strus has another donut in game 4, right? 2 donuts now he's had in 2 playoff games as a starter for the Miami Heat. There are reasons why there's these conversations around, do the Miami Heat need to go get a guy like Dame Lillard?
Sure.
Because you're seeing that talent gap, and that's what it was.
Jimmy Butler has been Superman up until the finals, where he's been normal all-star NBA player. But going in, Jay, I thought by the odds, the Miami Heat should have about a 25% chance to win. But I believe in that 25%. I think they'll be clicking on all cylinders when they need it most. But what you saw in especially in game 4, I thought, was zero margin for error because they're playing a much more talented team. So they can't afford, like their role players must be hitting. Their best player cannot be, as was said, I forgot who said this on the show last week, but Jimmy Butler can't be the third best player on the floor. You can't have the two best players on the other team. And Aaron Gordon was fantastic in game 4, but the fact that Porter Jr. still hasn't really even done his thing, and they're like this is incredible.
Key, it goes back to my point, what I've said before. I look, the Miami Heat are an incredible team who had an incredible run.
Yeah, but it's over.
That's why I compared it to the likes of a March Madness run, right? Guys like Gabe Vincent, guys like Max Strus, guys like Duncan Robinson were playing out of their mind. In that game 2 in which they won in Denver, they shot damn near 50% from the field and 50% from the three-point line, and you still saw Denver with a chance to send the game into overtime. You were still questioning, all right, when is Denver going to wake up? Right. And so those miscues, those things are what leads a basketball person to say, or somebody with eyes like, well, Miami has to play at a crazy, crazy high level.
They have to have things, the fates have to be smiling on them, right?
Yes.
And even then, Denver might beat them, but they weren't. Again, no margin for error, and there were lots of turnovers, and Denver's just too good. Denver's too good a team.
It is what it is at this point, Max.
Yeah.
I mean, they
it's a wrap.
One bag. Take one bag to Denver and they good. That's all. Just take one bag.
Eric Spoelstra talked after the game, NBA on ESPN radio, about the team's mentality now down 3-1.
Our locker room is full of great competitors, and nothing has changed from our standpoint, that we're trying to accomplish something that's audacious, that's big, that a lot of people don't understand. The path to get there, it doesn't matter how you get there. It is challenging. It is difficult. We're coming off of, 2 disappointing losses at home. But our guys love to compete and love these kind of environments, and having things decided between those 4 lines. There's no narrative that can decide it. The crowd can't decide it. The analytics about 3-1 can't decide it. You have to have a certain level of defiance.
Well, I like you, Coach Bo, but yeah, the crowd can decide it, and so can the analytics at 3-1.
Yeah, if, again, because of the talent gap, right? If the more talented team is down 3-1 and they have Miami's heart, now you're like, maybe they can come back. But when the less talented team is down 3-1 and they're on the road,
do we understand that the one team that came back from a 3-1 deficit in NBA Finals, right, with as the greatest player maybe to ever play the game of basketball with Michael Jordan?
On top of that, Jay,
they had 2 other All-Stars.
On top of that, you had one player suspended for a game. You had another player with a bum ankle.
Yeah. And you had Kyrie and Kevin Love on that team.
How hard that is to do.
They
now
have
we're going to
Kevin
look at
Love
an undermanned Miami Heat team and say, okay, no.
They have Kevin not so loved on this
team. They have
team.
Kevin Love's grandfather on this team. What are you talking? He's coming out with white hair and stuff. No, and he's actually Kevin Love is playing well.
Yeah, but it's not to say love, but it's not the same Kevin Love.
No. Yeah, but that's what I mean by margin for error. He comes in the game, he hits the 3. He gets another 3, he banks it. He didn't mean to bank it. It banked it in. Then he had a couple other looks and it stopped falling. Right? It just stopped falling, but they needed they needed Kevin Love to go 5 for 5 from 3 when he came. It's too much.
Practice those bank shots, man.
Yeah.
Off the glass.
I just want Miami Heat fans to call into the show today.
Come on, Jay, man.
888-SAY-ESPN.
I need you to call in.
729-3776.
Say hello to me. Talk to me today.
What's the Nuggets' focus going into tonight's game, KJ?
Come and talk to me.
Here's Bruce Brown for 3. It's good. What a night for Bruce Brown. The Denver Nuggets have won 5 straight on the road.
Don't listen to everybody telling you how great you are, because we haven't done a damn thing yet. We have to win another game to be world champions.
More Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max next. The NBA Finals continue on ESPN Radio.
Bruce Brown for 3. It's good. What a night for Bruce Brown in Game 4.
The Nuggets return to Denver. 1 win from their first NBA championship. Can the Heat survive a must-win Game 5? The Finals. Game 5 of the Nuggets and Heat. Presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Monday at Fitz and Harry, the Nuggets take game 4. They're 1 win away from their first world championship.
Plus one quarterback hoping to secure the bag and an MVP in 2023.
Oh, Jimmy G, Fitz and Harry, Monday, noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Womp womp.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Peter Burns.
I think there's two things that are brilliant for the Carolina Panthers and what they did, and neither of them is drafting Bryce Young. It may look smart, may not. But two things. One is the fact that now you have Frank Reich in his first year. He's going to go all in, okay? This is not a year 3, year 4 situation where you're like tiptoeing in. I don't know how I'm going to play it, and you're worried about your job. Frank Reich is well-respected. He's going to be there in Carolina for the foreseeable future. So you go in. He has the confidence to do that. Also, you have the confidence to grab Andy Dalton as a backup quarterback who is aware of what his role is on that team, right? How often do you see in the NFL, you see quarterbacks going, I'm not teaching this guy. Why would I do that? Like, why would I mentor this kid? He's out here to replace me. Like, Andy Dalton understands that, hey, listen, man, this is great. This is kind of an early retirement.
The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Shane Battier, 2-time NBA champion.
The all-time great discussion. I don't think you get into that conversation unless you win a championship.
Glenn Big Baby Davis won a championship with the Celtics.
When we need to succeed, Paul's going to be there. I just don't see that in Tatum yet. I think he needs to understand the times to turn it up and the times to sit back.
Jalen Johnson, Bears cornerback.
Really, there's nothing that he can't do. I think once he gets comfortable, I think he can be very dangerous, and you'll see a lot of that dominant quarterback play that you saw at Ohio State.
Alex English. Is that an insult to be told on the all-time underrated squad, Alex?
I feel the same. To not be named to the top 75 was a very big disappointment. To be the top scorer in a decade, bewildering to me. Why would that not be part of the criteria?
The biggest names in sports come here. And it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max and continues all day. This is ESPN Radio. Yo, check this out from Canty and Carlin.
There are always going to be championship expectations in New England. That's the standard that Bill Belichick has established. And I think he's going to fall victim to that standard because you're talking about this franchise 4 years since a playoff win. So if that doesn't change, then I think they transition Bill Belichick to full-time in the front office and they have somebody new wearing the headset on the sidelines in 2024.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Here's Murray. Sends it up top to Jokic. A wide open three. He's going to make another. Here's Bruce Brown for 3. It's good. What a night for Bruce Brown in Game 4. The Denver Nuggets have won 5 straight on the road, and they're headed home for a chance at their first NBA title.
We know we're going to have to go home and turn off the TV, the radio. Don't read the papers. Don't listen to everybody telling you how great you are, because we haven't done a damn thing yet. We have to win another game to be world champions.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. What's wrong with the line? We're all the Heat fans. We tried to tell you how good the Nuggets were all year. We did as a show, KJM.
That's a show. That's the hustle.
Hey,
that's the
Keith,
loophole.
Is it true or not that KJM was saying, like, since the All-Star break,
Actually,
since
last year, we talked about the Denver Nuggets are coming.
Denver Nuggets are coming. Yes.
No, it's not true. It's not true. I'm not going to sit up there and say that because I said all along that the Miami Heat would at least get 4 games. At least.
Well, they're getting more than that.
And then on top of that,
we were so high on the Nuggets, we underestimated the Heat. Isn't that right?
We were fatigued and tired as the Lakers. If we were not fatigued and tired, we could have took on the Nuggets a different level. We were just tired, you know. Mm-hmm. Our main guy had a little foot injury going on in LeBron James. So, no, I was not talking about the Nuggets all year long. No, I was not.
Sorry. I was. It's okay. I've been here for 2 years. I've been here for 2 years talking about Denver. That's fine.
Yeah, you also been here for 2 years, 3 years talking about Memphis, and you also been here for 3 years.
Yes,
talking about
and
the
Memphis
Celtics,
was live, and now Memphis has had some issues. Celtics have been to the NBA Finals multiple times. Okay, just say.
You've also been here talking about the Nets.
Not NBA Finals.
And then
once.
you switch to the Suns.
Yeah.
And then you switch to Dallas and Luka, and what a great backcourt that would be.
I mean, you're just talking basketball, Key. It's you're talking basketball. This comes in waves. How does Stephen A say? It's fluid.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but all along I said the Nuggets. All right, up 3-1. What's the Nuggets' focus going into tonight's game? We're going to get to that. But first, your calls, because Mark in Florida has something to tell you, Jay.
Hello, Mark.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Is it Marco?
Yeah,
or just Mark?
long-time listener. Listen, I understand what you're saying, and, the doctor gets all this like that.
Try and talk into the phone, Mark. I don't know how long you've been using this device.
It's hard to hear you, Mark, when you're eating the phone. Whoa.
On a forklift. All right, let's put Mark on hold for a second. JP in Florida.
Mark in the corner, man.
JP in Florida, you're on KJM.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing today?
What's happening, man? What's up?
JP?
Hey, listen, man. The Heat have shocked so many people on so many levels throughout these playoffs. You can't count them out. They do look undermatched. They are getting dominated. They are. But at the same time, you never know, man. Somebody may have a bad night. Miami could shock everybody. But I'm a realist. Denver's
too much. Yeah.
They're a machine.
Yeah, Denver's too much.
I mean, I am counting Miami out.
Yeah,
right?
7, 8, 9. They're not getting up.
Look, Miami is an incredible team. Jimmy Butler has carried a lot of the load. Bam is playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen this version of Bam. This gives me hope for the future about Bam, because I've always questioned his lack of aggressiveness, right? Guys like Gabe Vincent, guys like Max Strus, they're going to get paid a lot of money. I love watching Duncan Robinson play. I think he's a big-time talent. You're just seeing a Denver team that, in the likes of Jokic being in foul trouble, Aaron Gordon can go for 20-plus points. You're seeing Bruce Brown come off the bench, who's a prototypical guard that knows how to play alongside Jamal Murray and Jokic. You're seeing Jamal Murray play at an all-star-like, MVP-like level. It's hard to stop a team with that momentum.
Anything could happen, but in this situation, when you just look at this team over the 4 games that they played against Miami, they are the better team. And they're at home now. Yeah. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, they gave him a good fight.
And give Jokic credit. I give Jokic credit for this fight. The kind of culture that's established, like
what gentleman's sweep.
What Steph
they
did.
They gave him a good fight.
Yeah,
but Key, this. I'm sorry, Max.
Go ahead. No.
This goes back into, you're gonna ask if this is like a historic run, and offensively, you will say for Jokic, it's been an historic run. But you're also going to look at who Jokic has played against from an elite center perspective, and you're going to say, was he really met? Like, other than AD, was he really met? But Jay, I'm not going to diminish a championship
when I asked you that at the beginning of this series, you looked at me like I had frogs on my face. When I said to you, what Big said, would it be different if it was an Embiid up against him? Would it be different? And you was like, nah, he would still be doing his thing.
Yeah, I think he would think, like, this is what I want to. So Steph Curry, look what he did in Golden State. And you put me on to this way of thinking, Jay. It's not a one-on-one game. Because I was like, well, KD was on the same team. They're both in their primes. KD was the best player. He got the MVPs. How he's not ahead of Steph on the all-time list? Because it is a team game. Why was KD even there in the first place, right? The culture that Steph, the fact that he is sort of the primary ball handler, but the ball never sticks, right? Everyone, it's all working together. Jokic has the type of effect on a team with the passing and the touch passes and the no looks, and that guys like Aaron Gordon, you could see Jokic affecting his mentality when he played. You could see it. Aaron Gordon was doing stuff that you could see that, player, because Jokic is there, he makes it all work. So even if a guy like Embiid shuts his offense down and Jokic winds up with 18 points, he might wind up with 15 assists.
It is an historic run, Key. I mean, look at the numbers that we just showed on ESPN2 about points, rebounds, and assists. He's first in every statistical category.
Never happened before.
Right? No player has led all 3 in a single postseason before in the history of the league. But people will counter that and say, well, who did you go against to make it even more of an historic run in combination with the numbers? And that's where there is room for interpretation.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. It doesn't mean that they're not deserving
taking credit away. You're just analyzing.
It's difficult. It's difficult when you start talking about one's performance, just like it's difficult when you start talking about if somebody should be paid or they shouldn't be paid when you're not the one paying them. It's just like that with Jokic. For me, it's difficult to ignore what he's been able to do, but at the same time, I got to look at what ifs. What if this was a Giannis that he was going up against? And what if this was an Embiid? Like, what would it be? Would he still be doing this?
Yeah, I mean, he did it to AD, though, and those guys need to get there.
That's why part of me wanted to see him go against an Embiid or even go against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Right?
Swinger in Atlanta, you're on KJM.
Swinger?
What's going on, Max?
I knew you was about to say something, Jay. Just said swinger in
Hey,
Atlanta.
y'all, how y'all doing this morning?
In Atlanta,
man?
all in one
Hey, Max, man.
Yeah.
Out of all the predictions and teams that you went with, man, I want y'all to get ready for this beautiful, beautiful turnaround, man. I want y'all to watch the Butler. The Butler's gonna be the one who's done it. And I'm betting the money on it. So y'all gonna call me back and y'all gonna say, yep, Max, Tracy, y'all got it right. Okay? Watch what I tell you, man.
Max
this
is off.
one of the
Max
best series ever.
Wait, Swinger, you're saying Butler's going to come back down 3-1 and they're going to win the series?
All right. And I'm telling you this, Max, he predicted the right team. So I want you guys to call me back, and you know what I'm saying? So y'all just take
Swinger,
me to them.
You'll get through if they come back.
I ain't going to take your money, Swinger.
Swinger,
Why
you
not?
do realize Max.
Please, I need it. I'm starved and I need it. But y'all remember,
I'm starving
y'all
too,
gonna
Swinger.
call, y'all gonna say, man, where's this Swinger guy? You know, and that's really my name. Okay? So watch what I tell you.
Swinger from Atlanta, got it. Okay,
swinging. Go ahead, baby.
But look, he doesn't realize Max went head first off the ship already into the ocean.
Unless they come back, then I'm right back on.
Done.
He already
He
got
doesn't
off.
even want a life jacket. He just
But if
went
they come
head
back,
first.
I reserve all rights and all that kind of stuff. All right, look. If Jimmy Butler and them could get one on the road right now, that's a moral victory, right? Like, come on, they're playing a juggernaut. More of your calls. Plus, will losing this series, which is highly likely to happen at this point, force the Heat to go star hunting after Jay has this from Granger?
For the ones who get it done, Granger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people safer. So make it easy. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop on by. I think Jimmy Butler failed the Miami Heat last night, and it's not all on Jimmy Butler, but it starts with the intensity that he brings on the court.
Jimmy is still so confident.
I haven't seen him play with passion out one game in this finals, and that's disturbing to say that's the leader.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
With summer in full swing, now's the perfect time to head to the ballpark. Score great deals on great seats from our friends at Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Every crack of the bat, every diving catch, every heart-pounding play. Experience it live, in person, from the first pitch to the final inning. Vivid Seats has a huge selection of MLB tickets, and they're the only ticket company that rewards your purchases. For the best selection of 2023, shop now. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live. MLB fans, when you need tickets to catch your favorite team live all season long, Ticketmaster's got them. As the world's largest ticket marketplace, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of seats available and at competitive prices, so you never have to worry about missing a game. Take yourself out to the ballpark this season and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/MLB. That's Ticketmaster.com/MLB.
With groceries and housing costs at an all-time high, you're probably looking for new ways to cut costs in the new year. Like, no more trips, restaurants, movies, basically, no more fun. There's a better solution. With Rocket Money, you can track your spending, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and lower your bills. Users save an average of $720 a year. With Rocket Money, you can get your finances back in black, so you don't have to stop doing everything you love to do. To learn more, go to rocketmoney.com/gameday or download the Rocket Money app from the Apple app or Google Play stores.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like, what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Did you know YouTube TV is more than cable for less than cable? That's right. YouTube TV has no long-term contracts or hidden fees, and it even lets you catch up to the live game with key plays. With the lineup of over 100 channels, you can watch live TV like cable. Signing up is simple. Get started in minutes, and you can watch all the action of the NBA Finals live on ABC. So what are you waiting for? Try it free today at youtube.com/NBA23. New users only. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
The classic Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich. Crispy chicken, 100% white meat with crunchy pickles and mayo. It might just be the best KFC chicken sandwich. Oh, don't forget KFC Spicy Chicken Sandwich. It brings the heat. Also very good. Topped with a kick of spicy mayo. It might just be the best. One of the best. Okay, one of the best KFC chicken sandwiches out there. Agree. Oh, yeah. Choose your flavor with KFC's Chicken Sandwich in classic or spicy. That's finger licking good. Price of participation may vary.
They liked Bill as a basketball player. They just didn't agree with his views off the court.
They would blame it on the length of my hair. They would blame it on who I voted for. I vote in every election. I express my feelings. I'm an engaged citizen. I'm part of a team. What is more mainstream than that?
30 for 30 presents The Luckiest Guy in the World, episodes 3 and 4, tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN, streaming same night on ESPN+.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
He went to Boston and it ended in disaster. He went to Brooklyn and it ended in disaster. He went to Dallas, and I guess it's not over, but it was an unadulterated disaster what happened there. There's a buyer beware element with Kyrie that I totally get. But would I be surprised if the Lakers make a real push? Certainly if LeBron pushes hard for Kyrie, I would not be surprised at all.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Shane Battier, two-time NBA champion.
The all-time great discussion. I don't think you get into that conversation unless you win a championship.
Glenn Big Baby Davis won a championship with the Celtics.
When we need to succeed, Paul's going to be there. I just don't see that in Tatum yet. I think he needs to understand the times to turn it up and the times to sit back.
Jalen Johnson, Bears cornerback.
Really, there's nothing that he can't do. I think once he gets comfortable, I think he can be very dangerous, and you'll see a lot of that dominant quarterback play that you saw at Ohio State.
Alex English. Is that an insult to be told on the all-time underrated squad, Alex?
I feel the same. To not be named to the top 75 was a very big disappointment. To be the top scorer in a decade, bewildering to me. Why would that not be part of the criteria?
The biggest names in sports come here. And it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, and continues all day. This is ESPN Radio.
The pitch swing and a base hit. Shot to left field. Duvall is in to score, and Boston's on top 3-2. Kike Hernandez has his fingerprints all over this one tonight. That's how it sounded on ESPN Radio, as unfortunately Kike Hernandez's RBI single in the top of the 10th gave the Red Sox a 3-2 win over the Yankees. The Sox just scored 7 runs in 3 days, but they took 2 of 3 games in the first series this season between the two AL East rivals. And hey, Gleyber Torres, wake up. Now making defensive miscues and costing the Yankees a game. All right. Tune in for Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight as the Nuggets look to close out. The Heat coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on most ESPN radio stations. Sirius XM Channel 80, and you can watch the game on ABC beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. SportsCenter is presented by Progressive Insurance. Insurance for motorcycles, boats, and RVs for protection on the road and on the water. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
I think Jimmy Butler failed the Miami Heat last night, and it's not all on Jimmy Butler, but it starts with the intensity that he brings on the court.
Jimmy is still so confident.
He knows he's got to be the guy that sets that tone early in Game 4.
Your team is going to need a 30 to 40-point performance out of you. Where's the noise talking that we saw in the first round when he was disrespecting Drew Holiday? And I haven't seen him play with passion not one game in this finals. And that's disturbing to say that's the leader.
You know, all I could think of
right here.
Yeah, that RZA, man. All I could think of watching that Wu-Tang series, Jay, is when RZA's house got flooded and they lost all the music. Inspector Deck is the one who really, like, history takes a little turn here or there, but thinking about the kind of, like, you know, Cuban Links and then Liquid Swords.
Liquid Swords.
Even Iron Man, where Ghost admits he wasn't at his best at that moment, but it's still a classic. Deck's album was probably going to be bananas. Bananas.
Come on, man. You know,
he was so nice.
Keying into that.
Oh, Wu-Tang, bananas.
Will losing. What's that?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did you hear what Perk said, though, real quick? What Perk was talking about Jimmy Butler not bringing that intensity?
Yeah.
Like, I do wonder how Miami Heat fans feel about this, because we always talk about superstars and what they bring to the table offensively. And one of the things you known Miami to be great at, especially when it comes to JB, Jimmy Butler, is defensively. Like, is he bringing that energy, that level defensively? So it's like, do Miami Heat fans feel like Jimmy Butler has given them enough? Like, is it just enough to get here? And that questions into, is he a guy that can win you a championship? Or is he the secondary guy that can win you a championship? Because what it sounds to me is when I hear Miami Heat fans say, well, what else can Jimmy do? What else do you want him to do? You know, he's taken us all the way to this point. So it sounds to me like they don't think they have enough to get over the hump.
He was there in Philadelphia with Embiid, and they, you know, it's not that they chose Tobias. They really chose Ben Simmons over him, right? They got rid of Embiid's guys, Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick. They got rid of the guys that were like kind of orbiting around Embiid, and they chose Simmons at the time, so they stuck with Tobias Harris, and Jimmy Butler left. And you look at Philadelphia, you go, man, what would that look like with Jimmy Butler on that team right now?
But Jimmy Butler can win a championship for Miami, but they need some serious help. They need real help, though, Jay. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's out there. Bam is cool, but they need some real help. When you think about a guy like Kawhi, right, and what he did in Toronto, he really wasn't by himself, right? Those guys came to the party. He wasn't playing with 7 guys that were made a team based on being undrafted. It wasn't a lack of talent in that situation. And then, quite frankly, if the ball doesn't bounce and go in, 76ers might be in a different situation, a different conversation right now.
Also, Key, I mean, if KD don't go down, if Clay don't go down, like, you think about that run that Kawhi was able to get one. Like, you had KD towards Achilles.
Yeah,
Clay hurts his knee.
They had no shot if they don't get hurt.
That's what I'm saying. It's so hard. Everything has to go right.
Yeah,
everything has to go right.
That's what I mean by margin for error. The Heat, I thought maybe they capture lightning in a bottle. But I knew a few things had to go their way, because if a few things do go their way, maybe they're up 3-1, or at least it's 2-2. But everything needs to break their way because they're playing a better team. You need some fortune smiling on you. That's not what's happened in these playoffs and in these finals. And Jimmy Butler, it looks to me, I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I think it's plausible that maybe the ankle caught up to him because he doesn't look the same.
I think,
or he's just tired, or maybe he's just tired of carrying the stadium on his back.
I think we have a caller in Greco. I think Greco may owe me some money. I'm not
Greco,
sure.
what's up?
I'm not sure.
Greco and Queens.
Yeah, I'm here, Max. I don't owe Jay no money yet. And it ain't money. It isn't money we bet. We bet a jacket.
Oh, well, I mean, that could translate into money. It's a Mets jacket. Same thing.
No, you already said you're gonna donate it to the charity. Come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, money to the kids, to the charity. It's same thing, man. It's you still owe me money when you lose.
See, Jay's gonna wear the jacket and then say one of these kids will grow up one day. I'll give him a Jay Will Warren jacket.
So how you feeling though, man? All honesty though, like you feel like what right about now about the Heat?
The Heat have a lot of work to do. The Heat have a whole lot of work to do. But I don't feel any way about the bet, because somebody's going to feel, get lucky, whether it's somebody in charity or what.
That's how I know you feel some way about the Heat.
I just want to know how you feel about them.
That's how I know you feel some way
Okay, well,
about
this is how, here you go. Listen to Jay. Jay, he asked me, can I answer Key, please? Can I? Okay. How I feel about the Heat is how I felt about them in the beginning. If the Heat can make shots, the Heat have a chance to beat anybody. Well, anybody is the Denver Nuggets in the finals. But if they can't make shots, they're going to have trouble, winning a quarter, winning a game, winning anything. So if they can't hit no shots, they can't win no games. I just got a feeling they're going to extend it a little bit tonight, hopefully, so I can have another convo with Jay and we can
you really
figure things out.
You really honestly think going into Denver's got a chance to close it out in Game 5 at home in front of their fans. You don't think Denver gonna come with what they need to? They got what do they get, Jay? 2 days rest? It's been 2 days of rest, chilling. They at home, altitude.
I feel like Denver's going to come with the kitchen sink, but Miami's already proven that they can win there. So, I mean, it's just a matter if they can hit shots, they have a chance to win a game. But Denver's definitely coming to cut their head off.
But see,
bet you won't double the bet with Jay.
It just ain't about hitting shots, though. It's about being in fuego, man. These guys shot 50% from the 3-point line. Like, it's been another level. It's not like they've been 38, 39, 40%, close to 50%. That's a high clip. That's a high clip.
Definitely, but again, it's not. But defense wins game. If they can't play any defense either, then they don't have no shot. If they can't stop one of the two, if they can't stop Joker or Murray, they have to stop one of them, preferably Murray. If they can stop Murray from hitting all these crazy jump shots, and I mean, it's no hope if they can't do that.
Yeah,
but if Jay want to figure out something on the back end on the bet, we can still do something.
You trying to double it up? You trying to double down
down
3-1?
I told Max, you already know Queens, the realness, the foundation. If I died, I couldn't choose a better location. You already know, Max.
That's good to drop a bar. All that's cool, Greco.
Man, Greco,
some more money.
All right,
Jay said
Greco,
double it.
I need you.
I thought we was good. You working with Jay? Well, I know you working with Jay, but now you on Jay's side. Like, what we doing?
You're on my side.
But I always said the Heat had at least 4 games in them. At least 4.
Yeah, you did. They got 5. They got 5 in them. So we
All right, listen, Greco, to be continued. I'll say
we got you.
This is the thing about Jimmy Butler and the Heat, though. Of course, they had to be on fire. Everything had to break right for them. But their attitude heading into the finals, what did it for me is when he wouldn't touch the Eastern Conference MVP trophy. He wouldn't touch it. And I thought, that dude is so laser focused. The team will follow. The fates will smile on them. Luck is the residue of design. But they just ran into something they can't seem to overcome.
Let me ask you, though, put it into perspective. If Miami loses Game 5 tonight and there's a gentleman's sweep, are you still going to sit up here? Is anybody going to tell me that this has been a disappointing season for the Miami Heat? Stop. No. It's been an incredible season.
Butler,
if you're a Heat fan, you're disappointed that you didn't win, but you're not disappointed at the effort that your guys have given.
Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, when you look at them together, you go, that's a nice combination. Should they have been in 3 out of 4 conference finals together? Should they have been to 2 out of 4 finals together? They are more than the sum of their parts. Butler and Adebayo are both very good, but when you look at them in the regular season, you wouldn't be like, yeah, that combination should dominate the Eastern Conference and get to half the finals in 4 years. But they do. It says a lot about the character of the guys on that team, the coaching staff, the whole thing. They're not as talented as some of these juggernauts they're running into. Let's be honest.
Frank in West Palm Beach. What's up, Frankie? Way to call back in.
Good morning. Good morning. Let me tell you something. Since you started cutting some of the chit chat out, the show has gotten a lot tighter. Good
Frank producing the show. Good for. I agree with Frank. Go ahead, Frank. There he is.
Listen.
Frank doesn't know where the Bronx is, but where he's from apparently. But go ahead.
Leave Frank alone.
Well, you know what? I looked at that really shocks me that I thought now I'm 70 years old and I thought Harlem was in the Bronx. I really did. So that's my fault.
And you're
I
from
should
there.
know better being in New York.
How does that happen?
That being said, now I've been out of there for 44 years down here in Florida. So that being said, this is sums up what the Heat have been about with this series. Butler and Bam were 5 for 23 on layups in game number 3. They are missing so many shots around the basket. Bam Adebayo, when he bent the rim, missed the dunk. That's been his case the whole series. He's got lousy hands. I like Bam Adebayo. He plays hard, but he's not even in the class of Joker. And Butler, Butler's good, but he's not the answer. He's not the answer. I just think that they like I said, 5 for 23 on layups. That's pretty bad. What do you make of that?
Frank, I actually do think Jimmy Butler is part of the answer. He's just not the sole answer by himself. He's not, right? There's a reason why him and Bam are struggling with shots at the rim. It's because of all the action that they're also asked to do on the defensive end, and they're going over sides. Like, people keep trying to tell the world that Jokic is not a great defender, but yet he alters a lot of shots around the rim due to his presence. And by the way, Aaron Gordon and the way they attack the glass.
And also you know how Jokic plays defense? A bit like stars used to play defense in the 80s. He anticipates passing lanes, gets his hands in there. He can force some turnovers that way. He's just a great player.
Jay. Yeah.
You know New Jersey is not Philadelphia, right?
Yes, I do.
Right. Yeah,
being from Jersey. Sure. I know exactly where Philly is.
San Diego's not in LA, Key? Is that what you're saying?
Why y'all messing with Frank?
Just making sure y'all know where y'all from.
He thought the Bronx was in Harlem. Oh, Frank.
We're losing this.
Manhattan is not Connecticut.
It's unreal. And he's from there is the thing. And was there for like years. We're losing this series forced the Heat to go star hunting, KJM.
The Nuggets return to Denver. One win from their first NBA championship. Can the Heat survive a must-win Game 5? The Finals. Game 5 of the Nuggets and Heat. Presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on Sirius XM Channel 80. This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. The NBA Finals continue on ESPN Radio.
Bruce Brown, 4-3, it's good. What a night for Bruce Brown in Game 4.
The Nuggets return to Denver. One win from their first NBA championship. Can the Heat survive a must-win Game 5? The Finals. Game 5 of the Nuggets and Heat. Presented by Indeed. Coverage begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. You can also listen on the ESPN app and on Sirius XM Channel 80. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
I speak receiver. No, he's not excited to be a Raider right now. They cut his guy. His guy goes to New Orleans. He gets the playbook. He's like, man, we getting ready to dink and dunk. We got Jimmy damn Garoppolo.
GJ and Max.
Rodney in Massachusetts.
Jay, I don't know what it is when you're mad. I love you, then I hate you, then I love you, then I hate you again, bro.
Spike Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Keyshawn, I love you. Are you insane?
GJ and Max. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
It's a beautiful time for basketball with two teams on the cusp of NBA history.
Butler gets inside and tanks it all. Another Jimmy Butler masterpiece. There's the unbelievable passing ability of Nikola Jokic.
Top on the 6th Street, fly in my eyes, see the envy me. Shawty, she calling me MVP. I'll be on time, it's something you ain't never seen before.
The NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV. Heat Nuggets, Game 5 tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ABC.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny.
My daughter's actually graduating from college in a couple of weeks. It's hard to believe. And I know there are some people listening to this right now who remember the day she was born. She was born during the first year of Mike and Mike, and she was known as Baby Nikki on the show for a long time. Baby Nikki is 22, and she's graduating from college in a few weeks. Don't blink. You miss a lot.
Greeny. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app. Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
The more we looked at Jalen Hurts throughout the course of last year in the regular season, the more everybody put their eyes squarely on Jalen Hurts, the more badass he seemed, the more Philly he got. Through and through, the more swaggy he got, the more the pressure rose. So it's funny, like pressure here has created a swagger and a legend, and I only think that getting paid will add to that. It won't take away from it at all.
Fitz and Harry. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Do you ever wish that you could get closer to the world of sports? Well, with the ESPN app, you're one app and one tap away from the action. You can get live scores and stats for your NBA team. Or follow your favorite golfer as she launches off the tee. You even get 24/7 coverage of the biggest NFL plays. So what are you waiting? Oh, sorry, I got carried away. So what are you waiting for? Download the ESPN app and get closer than ever.
KJM, we're presented by Progressive Insurance. Check us out on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app. Will losing this series force the Heat to go star hunting? Look, Damian Lillard said it when he was asked point blank. Brian Custer asked him on his podcast point blank. He gave him a list of teams. And where would you rather go? And Damian Lillard was definitive. He goes, obviously Miami. Is that a good idea? Do the Heat have enough to bring in Lillard? Should they? Seems like that's kind of the perfect fit culture-wise. Maybe not defensively, but in terms of the Heat culture, Damian Lillard, is that the star you would go get?
This is not even a question. This should not even be up for debate. Right? There's certain players that you look at and you say, okay, that fits into that. Dame, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Holy Trinity. Tell me that doesn't work. Without even mentioning Jimmy Butler or mentioning Bam Adebayo, now you still have the personality traits of Jimmy Butler and Dame. I do wonder what happens with that and how that gets worked through down the stretch, because they're both clutch players and how they share that responsibility. But if there's a person to manage those two, the same way LeBron James and D Wade got managed, that would be Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. There's not even a question that I think that situation will work. I actually think it would be the one player that can elevate them, considering what they're going to have to face this offseason, when guys like Max Strus are up for a contract. Gabe Benson, they're up for a contract. Tyler Hero, he can be utilized as a trade asset if you would like. Draft picks can be utilized. Unequivocally. Say it. Unequivocally. There it is. Say it. What? I'm going to get Dame. It's not even a question.
Yeah, if you can.
I'm going to get him. If you can get him, I'm getting him.
If you got enough draft picks to go get him, even. Yeah. You got to make sure.
I got assets.
You got like 3 firsts, whatever you can get for Tyler Hero. I don't know if that's enough to get Dame. But
if you're Dame, I'm going to Portland. I'm saying, look, I appreciate you guys trying to build a championship team around me, but enough.
It would work. He's been loyal to the soil. Like, if he goes to them and says, look, I think they have to honor that.
Like, I'm never going to publicly state I don't want to be here. I'm never going to publicly force a trade. I'm going to do this thing the right way. Work with me to find the right partner and let me go to a team that I can contend with.
Jimmy Butler can play the 1, 2, or 3, and I get it's positionless, but I do like the idea of the 1 who can also shoot the lights out from range, the 3 like Jimmy Butler who can also defend the perimeter and all that, and the 5 like Bam who's showing what quality he is in these finals. Now you just need role players really who can shoot and defend, and you got Duncan Robinson who can shoot the lights out. Like, that's they'd have a really good chance to get back to the finals.
I would trust in Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra to find me wing players that can defend, shooters that can space the floor. They find it every year. They are one of the best teams in the history of the league at finding piece players to fit into championship rosters.
3 conference finals in 4 years that Jimmy Butler's been there. 2 finals in 4 years. It's just, and the teams they beat on the way, the Bucks and the Celtics, were both supposed to be, the Heat. Yeah, they're tough, but come on. It was the Bucks, the Celtics, and who am I forgetting? There's one more, and it wasn't the Heat. And the Sixers. Those were the 3 favorites. And then there was a fall off. It was like Bucks and Celtics top tier, right under them the Sixers, and then space, right? Return, and then the Heat. But the Heat are the ones that got out of the conference.
If they can't land Dame Lillard, who else could make them a better team, put them in a better situation next year? Because somebody like Bradley Beal, Kyrie, like, who could put them in a better spot?
Well, that's always been a sticking spot for Miami Heat fans, Key, is because Pat Riley just doesn't make moves to make moves. Like, he's not just let me go get a star and put a star on my team. So I don't think Kyrie really fits with that culture down there and what they're doing. Bradley Beal potentially could fit, but I'm not sure if Bradley Beal is even a Pat Riley type guy. I think you'll see more additional like wings or they're trying to figure out with their current roster.
And also, Bradley Beal is not if you wanted to make Kyle Lowry in his prime, you might not have to get anybody right now.
Like a Pascal Siakam would fit in more with Miami.
But you're looking for a playmaking point guard who can shoot, right? Like, isn't that the idea?
Yeah, but I was saying like another wing, because then Pascal can do a lot of the dirty work alongside Jimmy and alongside Bam, right? That's a player that I think. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with him in Toronto. He's under contract, obviously, but
that's an interesting
if they're
call.
Doing a rebuild, that's a wing that can fit into your culture.
What about James Harden? Is it too hard? Miami just too hard of an organization?
It's not for James.
I don't see James defending the way Pat and Espo would want him to defend.
There are lots of things in Miami that James might be interested in, but I don't know if Miami is interested in him. It doesn't seem like a fit to me at all.
I mean, we got to find fits for some of these guys, though.
Yep.
I mean,
but not Harden to Miami. Come on, that's like the opposite.
Well, I'm just asking. I'm putting it out there. You never know what you might think. They may think something different, though, right?
Yeah. Harden and Kyrie would be a lot more would have to be there than meets the eye. Dame would be a no-brainer, right? Who you say Pascal Siakam is interesting. Right? Is there anyone else out there that you look at? You go, "Boy, that's a Heat player who might be available."
I'm just thinking of things off the top of my head. Like a Mikal Bridges, but he's not going to be able to go there.
No.
They're not going to mess with CP3, huh?
I mean, do you want another undersized guard when you're already undersized?
CP3 would work just at a certain level, right? He's not at his age. He's not. He fill up 20-something minutes off the bench probably on that team.
I just don't know if there's another guy that you say, hey, that's a guy I'm going to go out and get. That's going to be a significant game changer right now. Other than continue to build through the draft.
Yeah,
and build through middle margin players, mid-level exemption type players.
Not normally the way Pat Riley does it, building through the draft.
Jaylen Brown would be a player that could fit in with the Miami Heat, no doubt about it.
Dame Lillard makes all the sense in the world, man.
Dame's really the piece.
Yeah. Could they convert Tyler Hero into enough draft picks to put with the draft picks they have?
Yeah, they could. Salary-wise, it actually helps.
That's what's actually
it helps with this new 4-year, $130 million.
Keyshawn J. Will and Max, could CP3 end up in Golden State?
Make a fast break to FanDuel during the NBA playoffs. Visit FanDuel.com/play.
21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KESGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. GamblingHelplineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia. With summer in full swing, now's the perfect time to head to the ballpark. Score great deals on great seats from our friends at Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Every crack of the bat, every diving catch, every heart-pounding play. Experience it live, in person, from the first pitch to the final inning. Vivid Seats has a huge selection of MLB tickets, and they're the only ticket company that rewards your purchases. For the best selection of 2023, shop now. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live. MLB fans, when you need tickets to catch your favorite team live all season long, Ticketmaster's got them. As the world's largest ticket marketplace, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of seats available and at competitive prices, so you never have to worry about missing a game. Take yourself out to the ballpark this season and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/MLB. That's Ticketmaster.com/MLB. With summer in full swing, now's the perfect time to head to the ballpark. Score great deals on great seats from our friends at Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Every crack of the bat, every diving catch, every heart-pounding play. Experience it live, in person, from the first pitch to the final inning. Vivid Seats has a huge selection of MLB tickets, and they're the only ticket company that rewards your purchases. For the best selection of 2023, shop now. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
With groceries and housing costs at an all-time high, You're probably looking for new ways to cut costs in the new year, like no more trips, restaurants, movies, basically no more fun. There's a better solution. With Rocket Money, you can track your spending, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and lower your bills. Users save an average of $720 a year. With Rocket Money, you can get your finances back in black, so you don't have to stop doing everything you love to do. To learn more, go to rocketmoney.com/gameday or download the Rocket Money app from the Apple app or Google Play stores.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard. My own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, too icy.
It is Bealey passing, putting on a clinic. Is the joke?
Yeah, 2-3. Yeah, got shooters.
Jamal Murray with a huge three-pointer. This dynamic duo connects again.
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max. The air quality has been better in New York over the last several days. Those Canadian wildfires turned to like the Martian atmosphere. It was like orange and red in New York, and you could smell like the fire, the smoke. But much better right now, at least for the time being. Morning, Jay. Morning, Key.
What's happening?
What's poppin', man? What happened with that whole Floyd fight over the weekend?
I have no idea.
Extra scuffle after the fight or something?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on social media. He and what was it? It's like someone Gotti.
Yeah,
right. That's the idea of the name Gotti.
Yeah,
but is he a family member? I don't know. I'm not paying attention. Not to that. I mean,
a fight like after a fight or something.
Well, yeah, the fight was supposedly it was called off, and then it turned into like a full-on brawl.
I didn't even know Floyd was fighting over the weekend.
The whole TNT like security crew was in the ring, and it just got John Gotti's grandson.
John Gotti, right? So Floyd is so smart with that.
Yeah,
he figures out a way to find someone he can fight at the age of 50. Someone with a name, someone people can hook some people in some parts of the world into attending and buying. And he's making a fortune in boxing these exhibitions. And from what I could see, they stopped the fight prematurely because I only saw the melee, but I could see why, I guess, John Gotti's grandson, whatever his name is, was mad because he was still going at it when he went the fight. Yeah, the ref stopped it prematurely. From what I could see, I don't know if that's what happened. That's what it looked like on social media.
You should have seen Floyd though, Key, doing some pad work right before because I was watching it, obviously staying up late. He got Rick Ross behind him, like and Floyd out there doing the slowest hand speed pad work I've ever seen. Like this is what it's turned into, entertainment.
Floyd figured this thing out.
He got it, man.
Sure, he has made more. If you take all the fights he had his whole life up until he retired, right? And then before he fought Conor McGregor, take all those fights minus Pacquiao, okay, minus the Pacquiao fight. And then you compare it to what he's made since then. I'm sure he's made more since then. Since he retired and boxed these ridiculous exhibitions and fought Conor McGregor and this kind of stuff, he's making more than he did as a fighter. It seems to me.
Doing it.
So, anyway, we've been talking NBA Finals. Well, I don't know what's so funny. We've been talking NBA Finals all show, really. We're going to get back to that in a bit. Even can Dame Lillard wind up in Miami is really about one of the Finals contestants taking the next step because it looks like Miami's about to get bounced. What about CP3? CP3, if he's waived by Phoenix, could he end up in Golden State? Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN senior NBA insider, was talking about landing spots for Chris Paul. Listen.
There are teams that would like to see if they could stack up enough contracts to take on his $30 million for this season and keep him, perhaps even flip him at the trade deadline. There are other teams who would trade for him and treat it like a salary cap savings. They would not guarantee his contract before that June 28th deadline, and then he would become a free agent. And Greeny, if Chris Paul is out there as a free agent this summer, look at the two teams in LA, the Clippers and Lakers, the Knicks in New York, the Golden State Warriors. Those would all be potential destinations for Chris Paul.
So, yeah, two teams in LA make sense to me. The CP3 I know would never go to the Golden State Warriors. Can't do it. Too competitive. Sorry. Steph, I'm looking at you with all due respect in the world. I want to go at you. I don't want to play with you. Difference. Like, these two are arch rivals. I know that people can say, well, when you're making a decision about, what team you're going to go to and, what gives you a closer fit. I hear all that to winning a championship. But the one thing I know about CP3, he's going to do it his way. And his way, this dude is cut from a different cloth. He's not going to go to somebody that he competes, that he feels like people see us, or if I see me as an equal, or I feel like I'm better than you. Regardless of right or wrong, Key, I never see CP3 playing with Steph Curry. I can't see it. He's not one of those type of dudes.
Doesn't seem like it would even fit, though.
No.
It doesn't. Well, the fit doesn't. The LA, two teams in LA seems like a fit. I don't even know if the Knicks. I know the Knicks, that doesn't seem like a fit.
You got Jalen Brunson.
You got two smaller guards. That
Emmanuel quickly, smaller, yep.
A liability from the defensive standpoint. I don't know. I mean, if I'm him, I'm focusing in on the two LA teams. Mainly, well, you can't really say mainly the Lakers because they still are banged up here and there all the time between Anthony Davis and LeBron. And then you got Paul George and Kawhi banged up in and out of the lineup. But those seem like those are the two best fits.
Well, number one, I would want to stay in Phoenix. I would really want to figure that out if I had a good relationship with Matt Ashibia, because it doesn't come often that you get a chance to play with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, who are prolific, and you can be additive to a championship team, right? Especially if you're a free agent, you take less money, you get back to an organization, you figure out the pieces that you need. Number two, if that doesn't work, I need to go somewhere where I can have somebody that could be a rim protector. And I think that was one of the challenges you had with Phoenix, sometimes with DeAndre Ayton, whether he was bought in or not, right? At this point of his career, I don't think CP3 still has the lateral foot speed to be a big-time perimeter defender, but he still can be physical and can muscle up. But you can apply better ball pressure when you know you got a guy behind you like Anthony Davis. Right? You can play offensively off a guy like LeBron James and AD, utilizing them both in pick and roll possessions. So that's how I would stack it.
Guys,
Phoenix and LA.
What are we talking about here? Let's be real. If Phoenix waives him and doesn't want him, if it's not just, well, we want him at a reduced price, but it's like this works better, as you said, Jay, with the ball in Devin Booker's hands, or whatever the case may be, but he's out. The Lakers. I mean, so obviously the Lakers. He's never gotten to play with LeBron, right? The whole banana boat thing, right? He is
never got a chance to play for the Lakers. David Stern locked it down.
He's never played for the Lakers. A trade that David Stern essentially undid. What was this, going back now 10 years when Kobe was still there? The Lakers could use a veteran ball handler who can shoot to spell LeBron and make things a little easier, especially at minimal cost, right? It's the Clippers, who have Westbrook, by the way, and that was actually looking pretty good. It's the Lakers. Lakers are clearly the team that makes the most sense if he wants to play on the minimum, and the Lakers could just slide him in.
Can I tell you another team that should take a stab at it, and they should make a hard move towards it, because I think he would change the locker room? The Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, interesting.
Like if you're thinking about what's about to happen to Ja Morant, how many games he will be suspended. You now have another guard along with Tyus Jones that can, really take the mantle, handle it, but also what that does to your locker room when Ja does come back. It gives somebody just, hey, this is the kind of calming, like, legitimization of how to lead, within the NBA.
Like the idea of getting CJ McCollum in with the Pelicans.
Yes, something similar.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting concept to float. I'm not saying CP3 would do it, but I think Memphis should make a hard press towards having that.
I'm probably at this age. I'm not doing it if I'm CP3.
No, that's what I said. I don't think
I got kids at home.
I don't. That's what I said. I
You
don't
need
think
kids in the
CP3 would
locker
do
room.
it. It doesn't mean that Memphis shouldn't make a hard push for it.
Yeah. But
because of what they need.
When you look at need from both sides, the fit, the whole thing, it's the Lakers. It's the Lakers by far, especially if they don't have to pay him, right? Because he's already getting the money from Phoenix. If that's the case.
And he's a guy that could play alongside LeBron James, could be utilized as a spot-up shooter.
Yes, he helps space the floor, among other things, right? Makes good decisions with the ball, the whole thing, high IQ. And the main thing is you can, in that setting, you can limit his minutes in the regular season so that he is finally, for the first time in his career, really healthy for the playoffs.
All I'm saying is I hear it. Like if I were CP3, I would do it. If I was the Lakers, I would take a look to see what the market actually provided, but I can get him for cheap, I would do it. But you do have two guys who are 38, 39 years old who have had injuries now, and you have Anthony Davis, who is a great defensive player, but has struggled with injuries as well. And I guess it's a risk that you take, but man, it's an old team.
We were talking about Kyrie in the last segment too, and a couple segments ago, and talking about would he fit with Miami. I think the consensus is no, but where would he fit? What's the best landing spot?
Dallas.
Just to stay put, right? He's going to get his money.
Dallas.
What about James Harden?
The Phoenix thing is interesting.
I agree. That's what I said last week.
Really interesting.
You shot it down.
I didn't shoot it down.
You, as you would say, poo-pooed it.
No, I didn't. How did I poo-poo it?
You poo-pooed it. There was poo-pooing.
You can't just say I poo-pooed it without telling me how I did it.
I said maybe am I thinking of this just in?
Nope.
No, I'm thinking of this show. I love him on Phoenix.
I think Phoenix makes a lot of sense. I think Philly makes a lot of sense. The thing I think within Phoenix would be different is I think he can play off the ball as well. He can play off the ball. I just don't know.
Oh, yes, it was you. You said they like the ball in D-Book's hands, blah, blah.
I'm just not sure Frank Vogel with how he wants his team to buy in defensively, how James fits into that. But it's the same thing with Philly. It's the same problem that they're going to have in Philly.
We mentioned Dame, the Heat. That's where he wants to go. It makes a lot of sense for everyone. CP3, I think we all agree, to the Lakers, right? That makes the most sense. What about Bradley Beal? What makes the most sense for Bradley Beal, and who needs him most, do you think?
Who needs Bradley Beal the most? I mean...
And what makes the most sense for him? He's the type of player... I don't know if he could be the best player on a championship team, but he could put a team over the top. That's a big weapon to bring in.
I mean, look, him and Joel Embiid would be really interesting together because they know how to play. Him and Memphis ain't bad.
You want everyone in Memphis.
I'm not. I'm just saying Memphis is a live spot.
You find out Jay's got an investment thing in Memphis.
What are you talking about? I said
CP3 up a bunch of land
because of the locker room issue, right? And I say, because look, they don't have Dylan Brooks. I'm not saying that's as much as a wing defender, but I mean, they need a prolific shooter. Like, is Desmond Bane the answer? Like, I don't know. It could fit.
Does Aaron Rodgers make the Jets a lock? Don't send Rodgers to Memphis because he's in New York now. Does he make New York a lock for the playoffs, KJM?
It's been like a dream month so far.
Since he's become a New York Jet, and he says he's just reminded every single day that he made the right decision.
Every day there's been something that's kind of been a little special sign. It's just a cool moment that reminds me I'm in the right place.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Shopify presents cool sheets from aha to lying awake while you bake isn't cool. I suffered from the wrong kind of hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible, signing up on Shopify. With the help of Shopify's intuitive online store creator, I started selling sustainable bamboo sheets that keep cool year-round. and my cool idea became a reality. Hot sleepers around the world rejoice. Shopify makes it simple to keep your cool while starting and growing your business. Start selling with Shopify today and join the commerce platform powering millions of businesses worldwide. From aha to anything is possible.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Start selling online today. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/play. Shopify.com/play.